What's up, y'all? What's going on? It's your boy, the man, the smoothest DJ in the land.
Hey, it's DJ D-Dub.
How we feeling? How we feeling? How we feeling? What's up, y'all? Y'all doing all right? Happy Monday to y'all. Happy Monday evening to y'all. Thank y'all for stopping by. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. This is a good one. This is a good series so far. I ain't gonna lie. This is more like therapy for me. So I love that I'm really talking about this, even though I'm on episode 2. But I sat down and watched it. Like I already dropped 2 episodes already. I dropped the intro to the series, the most important gig of my life. I dropped that video, and then I just dropped episode 1, which is the call, right? If you don't know what the series is called More Than a Beat, right? More Than a Beat, my assignment as a DJ. And episode 1 had to talk about the call. What was the call? I had to really figure that out, and I had to go through a lot of things, and that's where my book was birthed. My book was birthed from the call, from my call as a DJ. Again, I thought I was just going to be a club DJ or a party DJ or whatever, but this book came out, and God did the rest, right? So now I understood my call as a DJ. But before we go to the next part, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to like this. I need you to subscribe to the channel. If you're liking what you're liking so far, I need you to comment below. I need you to really engage with me in the chat, because one thing about me as well, I like to engage. I like to talk to you. I like to conversate with you. I like to get to know you more. And it's not just me. It's about you. Like, it's about the community of people that so I won't feel alone. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to feel alone in this thing. I want to feel like, yo, Dwight, I feel the same way, or hey, I've been through this and I've been through that. And I want you to talk to me in the comments. I want to build this community of people that know music got them through some really tough times, right? It can be just waking up in the morning. It's hard to wake up in the morning and you listen to a song and it got you up. Or you was in a cancer center and they gave you bad news and music helped you out then. Or, you had a bad breakup, or you had a relationship that you had with a business partner and it didn't go well, and you had that song. What the song was, I want to know. What type of flow it was, I want to know. Did you stay in it too long? I want to know. I want to know all of this, right? And this is why this series is so important. So you get to know my stance on DJing and why I do what I do and why I'm not just out here just playing for everybody and everything, right? And why I'm really taking this so serious, because I thought I was doing one thing, but God said, you doing another. I thought I was doing one thing, but God said, I'm going to do another thing for you. I'm going to give you this one. That's the one everybody like. Everybody like that one. Everybody like that sound. So again, I need you to like. I need you to comment. I want you to subscribe. I need you to buy a book. Honestly, buy a book. Please get you a book. Get you a copy. I want us to talk together. I want us to conversate together about this. Okay. All right. So let's get into episode 2. Let me get to the second topic of discussion. So the first one, we was talking about the call. This one, I had to for DJ terminology, right? Remember the first episode I talked about, I'm gonna apply DJ terminologies to life principles, right? So in the DJ world, BPM is called beats per minute, right? So each beat that you have, like some of your favorite songs, require a slower tempo or a fast tempo, right? So you're going to be doing one of these slow tempo on the dance floor, boom, boom, boom. Or you're going to be like, right? Or you're going to be fist pumping, right? So the slower ones are like 72 BPM to 82 BPM. I say 64 BPM to like 82, 90. That's like 2-step, like, just a little groove. Then you go up to 95 to 115. That's when it gets a little jumping, and you like this, right? Then 115 and up to like 130, 140, you fist pumping, you break dancing, you tearing up the dance floor, you tearing it up, right? That's what the versions of music and the cadence of music. So I had to learn in DJing, when I'm DJing at a party, like, okay, this party, it's a Sweet 16. So they're going to want They want to go crazy. So that's high tempo, 115 to 130. When a wedding ceremony, that's gonna be love songs. So that's gonna be in the 64 to 82 BPM range. That's not gonna be within the 95s or 105, unless you got two introverts that's getting married and that's all they want to listen to all day, right? That's all you want to listen to all day. But when I was DJing, when I first started DJing, I was going crazy. I was feeding. I was feeding the crowd just up tempo music because that's who I was as a person. That's who I was as a person. I was an up tempo guy, and I've always been up tempo. I always been high energy, an extrovert. That's who I am, a high energy extrovert. So I always wanted my parties to be between 105 to 130, but always stay in the 115 to 125 range. I always wanted that. I love house music. I love old school music. I like New Jack City. I like Guy, old school, the group Guy. I like all of that, right? Poison. This is how we do it. Stomp. I like all of that. I like the high tempo, but I had to learn. You gotta slow your butt down, bro. You gotta slow down. These people can't dance all day. Like you want them to dance all day, all night, but they can't dance all day, all night. You gotta slow it down. And a professional DJ, they know, go up tempo for about 3 or 4 or 5 songs, and then come down. Give them some rest, right? Because you got older people that's in the crowd too that you need to take care of. But when I first started DJing, I didn't care about that because I was all in my headphones. I was listening to everything and I'm like, nah, everybody gonna listen to what I want to hear because I got the controller, I got the music, and you gonna listen to what I gotta say. I'm just saying, baby. Like, you gotta listen to me, baby. Like, I don't want to hear nobody else. What they got, I don't want to hear their song requests. I don't want to hear nothing. It's me, right? So, that's not you. You're a DJ. Like, you gotta take care of the people. The people come to you and ask you for songs, and you have to make it happen. Like, the client asks you to play certain songs, so you have to make it happen. It's not you making it happen for them because of your selfish ears. That's not how it works. And that's why a lot of DJs don't make it because of that. So I had to learn very quick. I had to get humbled very quick. I had to sit down and learn very quick. Like, yo, it's not about you, dog. It's about the client and it's about the audience. And put them together and let them have fun. And you just enjoy putting the music together. And then you go home. You get paid, go home, right? So long story short, fast forward, I had to go through a life challenge. That's what I'm plugging my book. I was going to say I wasn't, but I am. I'm plugging my book. Boy's an author. I'm an author, right? So I'm plugging my book. I don't plug my book in enough. I really don't. So what I'm going to do is, this video is sponsored by Music Gets Me Through. Have you ever been through a hard time in life? Have you ever been through some situations in life and you just felt like music was the answer? It wasn't food. It wasn't your girlfriend. It wasn't your boyfriend. It wasn't your husband. It wasn't your wife. It wasn't the gym. It wasn't you going for a walk. But it was music. Did you look to your left of the bed and you just put your headphones on and you just heard something that just soothed you and just helped you get out of the bed? That's literally what I had to go through with music, but it was different. I had to go through life. I had to go through a lot of health challenges, a lot of death. I had to go through a lot of things, and God gave me music to get through that. So if you have been through the same thing and music has gotten you through, I need you to get a copy of the book. I need you to understand how important music is, and you are one song away from being the best dancer on your dance floor. All right, let's get back to it. You like that? Y'all like that? Y'all like that? Y'all like that? All right. So let's finish it off. All right, let's stop playing. Let's finish it off. So I had to learn a BPM. So now learning my BPM, learning my beats per minute, okay? Remember, y'all, beats per minute. Put in the chat right now. Put the word beats per minute. Put that in the chat, okay? So when I learned my BPM and I started to grow in this DJing industry and DJing period, I had to learn, okay, you have to slow down. But guess what? Now let's get to the life principle. I had to slow down in life. And what caused me to slow down, because I kept running, I kept pushing, I kept running from my problems, I kept running from situations that I was dealing with, and I would just cope with it and I would deal with it. I wouldn't cope with it. I would just deal with it. I just kept running. I kept running. And I'm running at a fast pace with life. And I'm not turning back. And I'm not sitting down. And I'm not focused on what I need to deal with in the moment. I'm not focusing on what my dad just went through. I didn't focus on what my parents just did, between themselves and how it hurt me. And I'm thinking about all of this stuff. I'm thinking about, when I got married, and I'm thinking about, my kids and not seeing my kids and not dealing with them and not being with them, and I'm dealing with all of this stuff, and I'm just running. I'm just running at a fast pace, and I'm over here just sweating, just flicking it off, sweating, flicking it off. But I'm not sitting down and learning and understanding what I'm going through. I ain't really sit down and be like, what's going on? And I wasn't even tuned in to God enough for me to understand what was going on, because I was so into running. So as a DJ, I thought I was getting gigs, but I wasn't really getting gigs. I was wondering why I wasn't getting anything, because I was running. I was playing the wrong song for too long. I kept playing the wrong song. I kept being in the wrong range of BPM. I kept being in the 105 to 115, but the audience that God called me to be in was the audience that was depressed, that was sad in the moment, that was dealing with some things. I dealt with things, but I really never dealt with them. You get what I'm saying? So I couldn't relate to the 72 to 85 BPM range of people. I didn't know how to deal with that. I only know how to deal with the up-tempo people, because that's who I am. And I thought that's where I needed to stay in order to be happy. I thought I needed to stay up there. So I just kept going. I kept going. But you can't stay there. So what God did, I ain't gonna lie, what God did, he slowed me all the way down. And this is around the time he slowed the world down, right? Well, before that, I remember when I was on a plane. I'm gonna tell you this story real quick. My BPM slowed down when I was on a plane. Me and Chris was on our way to LA. And that was gonna be my first time going to LA. And wasn't I don't know if it's my first time, or I think I've been to LA a few times before that. But I think it was me and her first time just going together. We was gonna go to LA. And this was back in 2019. This was January 3rd of 2019. If I'm wrong, Chrissy gonna tell you right in the chat, and she gonna give me the exact date, time, where we was at, right? But I remember we was on a plane, and I was just sitting there in the middle aisle, and it was me, Chris, and then another gentleman that was on the aisle. I didn't really think about the aisle seat and none of that. I flew so many times, so I didn't care about that. I was just so hype again at this up tempo that I was like, yo, I can't wait to go to LA and spend time with my baby. I couldn't wait, right? It's after New Year's. I couldn't wait. So long story short, I was asleep. I had a neck pillow on my neck. I was asleep. I would never forget it. I had a Puma tracksuit that she got me that I was so happy to wear. And I had the neck pillow on my neck, and I ended up getting too hot. And I woke up feeling weird. I woke up and I was sweating. I knew it was like cold on the plane, but I was sweating. So I stood up and I said, hey, can I, I asked the guy next to me, I said, hey, do you mind if I walk to the back? I need to go to the bathroom. Not knowing I didn't have to go to the bathroom. I just felt weird. I just needed to get up. So as soon as I got up and I started walking to the back of the plane, I didn't make it all the way to the back to the bathroom. Your boy passed out. Your boy passed out. He passed out. I passed out. Don't know how, don't know what happened. I passed out. I end up waking up and I seen everybody staring at me. And I'm looking at everybody like, what y'all looking at? Y'all all right? Everything all right? What we doing? And again, I'm just so up tempo. I'm like, what we doing? Y'all good? Y'all all right? Like, how y'all doing? They're like, you just passed out. You hit your head on the floor and you passed out. So now Chris is in her bed. I mean, in her seat, just going, just praying. She's not screaming. She's not doing nothing. She's just praying. And but she's very alertive. But she's praying. Again, looking at the whole thing, I remember before I was going to the gym every day. I used to go to the gym all the time, at least 2 times a day. And if I would go 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours. I would go to the gym because that was my therapy. That was my way to get my physical appearance and my mental appearance right. Like that was a therapy for me. So anything that I was dealing with or going through, I always took it to the gym. But not knowing that day I didn't sleep that as much, and I didn't have enough hydration. I didn't have enough water because I only slept for 45 minutes out of 24 hours because I was just ready to go. Again, on 10, that natural caffeine. Okay, so long story short, I ended up passing out, and come to find out that the person that was on the aisle seat, he happened to be a doctor, and he helped me. Right, he elevated my legs, and also the gentleman behind him ended up having a bag of Tootsie Rolls. Please, I think his name was John. Was the angel? We call him an angel to this day. I think his name was John, the doctor that helped me on a plane. If you watching this, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You are a godsend, and I haven't seen you since. So I pray to God that you're okay. I hope all is well. If you're seeing this, please reach out. I would love us to go meet. Whatever we can do, I'll come to you, however that works. But God placed you in my life for that reason, and Chris' life for that reason, and we will forever thank God for you, right? And then also the gentleman in the back, he had a bag of Tootsie Rolls, chocolate Tootsie Rolls. I think that's the only flavor, only have chocolate Tootsie Rolls. But you get what I'm saying, right? And he had the Tootsie Rolls, and he gave me one. And he said, my daughter gave me these Tootsie Rolls, and I never have candy. I never carry candy, and I never have candy, ever. But I have candy for you. And now my blood pressure was low. And that's how I ended up passing out on the plane, because my blood pressure was low. So with that was the start of me lowering my BPM in life. I had to slow down in life. I had to slow down. Okay, Dwight, just don't get up and just go straight to the gym, or don't just get up and just be on 10. It's okay to be on 10, but it's okay to be lower too. Lower your tempo, lower your tone, relax. People need you out here. You need to relax mentally. You need to slow down, relax. And then I really slowed down when COVID hit and everything else was happening, right? So I had to really sit down and sit with myself, and then sit with family. And then I had to introduce myself as a low-tempered, low BPM guy. I had to introduce myself to that. Like, okay, I can be high and I can be low. And I'm okay with being low now. So now in this space and what I'm doing now, I am low as it could be. I'm a low tempo dude. Like, I'm more in this space, in this room, than I am outside now. Right? All 2024, I was outside. But it was cool because I had a balance. I had a balance of being outside, doing what I got to do at these events, and then I was able to sit down and just rest. Then I was able to sit down and just be with family. I was able to sit down and just look at Destiny Dane in the eyes and just stare at them and just enjoy their company. Before, I was fighting for their company. Before, I was fighting just to do what I had to do to make sure that they was good. In this space, in this season, I had to be introduced to the lower BPM of the world. So now when I DJ, I can DJ for both. I could DJ for the higher, and I could DJ for the lower. And that's the question for you. What BPM range are you? Are you a lower introvert, or are you an extrovert? If you're an introvert, I need you to be introduced to the extroverts. If you're an extrovert, introduce yourself to the introverts, because it can't just be one or the other, right? You got to have that balance. Chris is an introvert at heart. She's an extrovert when she's comfortable with people. She's an extrovert. She go crazy. She go loud. She do whatever when she's comfortable around people. But when she's not, and she could be shy, she could be low-tempered, she could be very calm. And I always used to have a problem with that when I first met her. And then when I went through my go-through, I understood. So now understand, if you're in a space or you're in a relationship with somebody that's in a different BPM range as you, understand them more, study them more, understand why they are who they are, right? Get to know your crowd of people. Get to know the people that you're inviting on your dance floor, because every song is not your song. Every song is not for you. Every song is not for you. Let me say that again. Every song is not for you to dance. You don't completely control the whole party. You need other people in your party to help you keep the dance floor alive. And it's not just you. Because if you had your own dance floor and you was partying by yourself, you kind of will look back one day and be like, man, I wish I would be able to play more songs to allow more people to enjoy this music. All right? So let me ask you again, what's your BPM? Put in the comments, what's your tempo first of all? What's your tempo? What is your partner, your business partner, your close friend, what is their tempo? What are you going to do to introduce your tempo to theirs so y'all can do this, so y'all can dance together? How y'all going to figure this out? And I need the comments to be flooded with those answers, and we're going to come in as a community to make it happen. I appreciate y'all in this episode. This episode is a little bit longer because it literally was hitting me today. It hit me today. I was like, I remember when I wasn't like this. And I remember when I wasn't so low and chilled and just relaxed and just getting on this mic and just talking to you. I always just wanted to play music and just go. But now I enjoy this space. I love this type of song. I love this type of genre of just sitting down and just relaxing and just talking to you and letting you know and letting you understand the type of music I'm listening to now. Right, which is you. So shout out to my low tempo, my 72 BPMs. Shout out to my 82 BPM. Shout out to my 64 BPM crowd. Shout out to y'all. Put the fires and emoji in the chat if that's you. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. All right. Look, y'all, I got a Music Gets Me Through podcast that I'm jumping. The first episode already dropped. Shout out to Matthew Hedden for allowing me to do the episode with him. That was so dope. I have so many more people that is already recorded. It's about to drop. There's one that's about to drop on the 24th of September. I need y'all to tune in. Tune into that one. You don't want to miss that one. I'm debating if I want to do these on Monday and then do the podcast drops on Thursday. I think that's better to do that because I was going to do both on Mondays, but that's going to be a lot. So think about, let's just do Monday with these and then Thursday with the podcast drop. So be on the lookout for that. Again, subscribe, like, highlight your boy, and I'll talk to y'all later. Look, what's the song that got you through this week? What's the song that's going to get you through this week? Put in the comments as well. Hit me up on Instagram. Let's go. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. This your boy, the man, the smoothest DJ in the land.
It's DJ D-Dub.
Peace.